पॉजिटिव होना शेष है। इसीलिए उन लोगों को एक बहुत लंबी ट्रेनिंग टेन्योर से गुजरना होगा, तब वह दुनिया का सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट विषय स्पिरिचुअलिटी समझा पाएंगे। अन्यथा वह बताएंगे, बताने से किसी समाज का भला नहीं होता है। एक छोटी सी बात कह के बात मैं पूर्ण करूंगा। समाज में जब बहुत विप्लव होता है, when there is commotion in the society, when the existence of the society is at stake, then there is a rise of faith. किसी भी रिलीजन को या फेथ को उठाकर देखिए, जब बहुत विप्लव था उस समाज के अंदर, जब वह समाज का अस्तित्व खतरे में आ गया था, तब उस समाज में एक फेथ का उदय होता है। हम लोग फेथ तो पढ़ा देते हैं, लेकिन वो फेथ का उदय हुआ क्यों, वह छुपा जाते हैं, क्योंकि हम संघर्ष नहीं समझना चाहते। अगर कोई स्पिरिचुअल पर्सन संघर्ष नहीं समझेगा तो वह कभी भी ना अपना न किसी और के व्यक्तित्व का निर्माण कर पाएगा। इसीलिए जो पीस एजुकेशन है, जो स्पिरिचुअल एजुकेशन है, उसमें प्योरिफिकेशन प्रोसेस की बात होनी चाहिए। और प्योरिफिकेशन कौन कर सकता है? एप्रोप्रिएट पर्सन शुड बी अपॉइंटेड एंड दे मस्ट ट्रेन देयर स्टूडेंट्स अबाउट स्पिरिचुअलिटी एंड अबाउट पीस। व्यक्ति का परीक्षण उस समय नहीं होता है जब समय अच्छा होता है, व्यक्ति का परीक्षण उस समय होता है जब समय बुरा होता है। अच्छे समय में उसकी जो ट्रेनिंग है वो बुरे समय में काम आती है, उसके पर्सनालिटी के परसेप्शन को चेंज करने में। अभी आप अगर देखिएगा तो जब भी किसी देश का या समाज का समय बुरा आता है तो वह युद्ध की तरफ बढ़ता है, हथियारों की तरफ बढ़ता है। इसका मतलब उस समाज के अंदर अभी भी मैच्योरिटी की, स्पिरिचुअलिटी की, पीस की सोच नहीं, डेवलपमेंट की सोच नहीं। Development, I'm a little bit being distracted if you keep talking, please, sir, madams. I'm feeling distracted if you are talking. Sorry. So, जो सोच है डेवलपमेंट की, आप सभी लोग डेवलपमेंट को बहुत अच्छे से पढ़े हैं, पढ़ाए हैं। जब अनप्रिडिक्टेड डेवलपमेंट होता है, जब कॉन्सेंट्रेटेड डेवलपमेंट होता है, जब डेवलपमेंट में यूनिवर्सैलिटी नहीं होती है, तो डेवलपमेंट ना पीस ला सकता है, ना स्पिरिचुअलिटी ला सकता है, ना वो सस्टेन करेगा। लेकिन वहीं यदि किसी भी डेवलपमेंट में यूनिवर्सैलिटी है, यूनिफॉर्मिटी है, पीस की कोशिश है, तो वो डेवलपमेंट सस्टेन करेगा। पूरी दुनिया में जो ग्लोबल वार्मिंग हुई है वो इसीलिए हुई है because it was not universal development. If development is universal, there will not be any such problem or any such issues. This has to be told to the students. एक छोटा सा किस्सा बस कह रहा हूँ। एक बार कुछ पेरेंट्स, मेरा बच्चों से बहुत लगाव, तो कुछ पेरेंट्स अपने बच्चों के साथ मेरे पास पधारे। एक वर्कशॉप चल रही थी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन क्लब में, और मैं देख रहा था कुछ पेरेंट्स बहुत रेस्टलेस थे। In that conference they were sleepy also. And through their faces I could make out that they don't have any concentration or interest. वो बच्चों को लेकर मेरे पास आए और कंप्लेंट्स क्या थी। कंप्लेंट नंबर 1, पता नहीं 2 मिनट में भाग जाता है। Means they were talking about lack of concentration. दूसरी बात, जब कभी भी पढ़ाई लिखाई की बात करो टीवी देखने बैठ जाता है। या कहेगा कि मैं दिन भर थका हुआ, मुझे नींद आ रही है. Complaint, this was complaint number 2. And the complaint number 3 was कि हमारे साथ कभी बैठता ही नहीं. मैंने उनसे सिर्फ इतना कहा, कैसा जमाना है जो लोग अपनी कमी को नहीं समझ पाते, वो अपने बच्चों की कमियों को दूर करना चाहते हैं. इसीलिए इस दुनिया में स्पिरिचुअलिटी के बारे में थियोरेटिकल बातें बहुत हो गई, दिन ब दिन हो रही है, जबरदस्त रिसर्चेस हैं, लेकिन स्पिरिचुअलिटी दिन ब दिन कम हो रही है. और जो आज ऑनरेबल चांसलर साहब ने एक शब्द दिया, स्पिरिचुअल इमरजेंसी, उस बात से मैं बहुत इत्तेफाक करता हूँ. हम लोग बुरे बनने लगे हैं. इस दुनिया में जब अच्छे लोग कम हो जाएंगे, बुरे लोग ज़्यादा हो जाएंगे, तो बुरे लोग अच्छे लोग और उनके बच्चे दोनों को जीवित नहीं रहने देंगे. हमेशा याद रखिएगा. इसलिए अच्छे लोगों की बढ़ोतरी होनी चाहिए, और ये बढ़ोतरी करनी पड़ेगी. ये ट्रेनिंग देनी पड़ेगी. ये ट्रेनिंग माँ से शुरू होती है, ये ट्रेनिंग टीचर तक जाती है, ये ट्रेनिंग स्कूल एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन की जिम्मेदारी है. और जब बात पढ़ाने की होती है तो सिर्फ किताब है. You have your subject with you, and when I am talking about training, it means you have to be like that, because a person who himself is a soldier can create another soldier, otherwise can't. I hope मैं अपनी बात को रख पाया हूँगा. I thank Chancellor Trivedi again for inviting me to such an august gathering amongst such erudites, and hope that this will suffice the purpose of the world. We'll draw a curriculum which will be spiritual training basis, on the basis of the spirituality, training of spirituality, which will perpetuate both peace of mind and development together. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Guru Pawan Sinha ji, for your thought-provoking address. Whatever you have said has all been digested by us, and we tell you, to be frank and to be honest, this analysis we have never heard before. The analysis of spirituality. We have written the encyclopedia, but a commentary, and again, the urgent need of what should be done regarding spirituality. So the speech was nothing but spirituality, past, present and future. Thank you very much. Friends, we have great pleasure in presenting a very special memento to Guru Pawan Sinha ji, and I would like that memento to be brought this side. And the search committee chairperson, Dr. Ravi Jai, Professor Dr. Ravi Jai from Jammu Kashmir, please come. There has been a committee to locate the dedicated and talented spiritualists and the International Association of Educators World Peace, which is affiliated to United Nations, Economic and Social Council, UNICEF and UNESCO, has pleasure on behalf of Charles Marchia, who is originally a Maltese and now naturalized in USA, in Alabama, in Huntsville. We have the proud privilege of inviting His Holiness Guru Pawan Sinha ji to receive the National Spirituality and Futurology Award to be conferred upon him. There is a very special award for Honorable Jesse Dorji Tambul Sahab, who is one of the most important personalities in the world on Tibetan philosophy and Buddhist philosophy, and in testimony whereof and by the authority vested in us, we had great pleasure in conferring upon him the National Buddhist Heritage Promotion Award. upon Dr. Gregory Bargaland and also Aruni and Priya. Please come. We will jointly present this special memento to Dr. Janis Darbari, who is the learned Honorary Consul General of Montenegro in India, and we would like to confer upon her the National Clean Diplomatist Award.
Oh, thank you.
So you are a clean diplomatist. We would like you to be a green diplomatist also.
Sure.
So on 5th June, we would like to confer upon you the Green Diplomatist Award.
That's my pleasure.
5th June in IIC Hall. Thank you. World Environment, yes. We have the proud privilege of inviting Honorable Mr. Deepak Vyas, who has come from Rajkot and who is the founder president of the Global Trust. We have great pleasure in presenting him the World Award for Development and Empowerment. Now we have great pleasure in inviting Dr. Janis Darbari, who is the Honorary Consul General of Montenegro in India, to present her views briefly, as she has to go for another meeting. Please.
On the dais, Mr. Trivedi, a very happy birthday to you, and from Montenegro, as the Consul General of the country, I bring to you its warmth, happiness, and love. I think love is one of the beautiful ways of expressing spirituality. The human race is born to love each other, and it is human kindness which makes the world. As all of you are sitting here and enjoying this environment which is being created, I think, by Mr. Trivedi on his auspicious birthday, I think all of you should rise and stand and give him a standing ovation for thinking of everybody. Let it come from the heart. 3 cheers. It's when we actually look at each other, love each other, and express our happiness. It is one of the most beautiful ways of enjoying the spirituality within you. My young ones, how did you all feel when you lit the lamp? How did you feel? How did you feel? Did you feel nice? I think it was for the first time I ever saw at a function when all the children were asked to come and stand, and it's the audience actually to come and light the lamp. And it is a very beautiful thought. Our eminent speaker just before me has put a very beautiful point, and I think he has expressed very well the way the world is today and the need for a clean environment. I like the word clean diplomatist. You know, as a diplomat, I have, yes, indeed, made a very big difference. In fact, Montenegro, the country which I represent, I'm very proud to say, the government, as in 2006, it chose through a referendum to separate from Serbia. In 2008, the Foreign Ministry appointed me as the Honorary Consul General in India, and I was the first woman to represent Montenegro as an Honorary Consul General in the world. So you can imagine the faith, the hope of the Montenegrins in an Indian woman. And as my curriculum vitae goes to them, in that there was written that I had authored a book about Shri Shankradeva, the living legend of Assam. Perhaps I don't know if many of you are aware, but when the Bhagavad was taken to the northeast, it was taken by the saint Shri Shankradeva. It's a wonderful story which came to me through a spiritual revelation. We talk of spirituality, but many of us, while understanding what is spirituality, we don't really realize when it is very close to us. It is within us. And that's when I authored this book. I had, like many young women and children and organizations, gone on a Save Marjoli campaign. We thought we were saving Marjoli. And you know, Marjoli is a huge island in Assam. It's the world's largest river island, inhabited river island. And at that time, people were talking about it, but nobody ever expressed what exactly were the treasures in Marjoli. So when we went there, and I went to the Satra is a place which was created by Shri Shankaradeva. And that's a place where everybody in the evening comes, sits down together, the whole village. I mean, everybody, whether it was the tribal people or whether it was them, they were all into the beautiful feeling of Krishna Bhakti. And when I say Krishna Bhakti, the Ras Leela, if you see it in Marjoli, it's unique. However, when I went there to the temple, we had a lot of Germans with us, a lot of people from all over Europe. I sat down, they went about the place as a normal tourist. I sat down in the temple and I said to myself that if I am the Satra Adhikari, means if I am the supreme head, what would it be? And lo and behold, I felt somebody just walk in front of me. Now that's the spiritual world. I had connected with the saint and I didn't know. He was dead 500 years ago. And when I connected with him, it was like he said, Ahuk, I just followed. I was wondering, who is this? You can imagine, here you're a writer, you're a journalist, you've gone there as a different thing way back in '96, and you're wondering, what is this? But I went, I followed, and then the temple door, you know, it's a long hall like this, and then there would be the temple door. The priest opened the door and said, Ahuk. So Ahuk means come. So I went in. When I went in, he said, I'm going to do a prayer for you. I sat down. I think I was in some sort of a wonderful world. I sat down. I did the prayer with him. It was Krishna. He said something about Vishnu. And then he said, I am going to show you the treasures. You have come with a very specific purpose as a journalist. I will show you something. So I said, okay. And all of a sudden, I found his bhagats all dressed in white surround me. And I looked at him and I had my cameraman and everybody outside the Satra. So I said, okay, but may I just call some people? He said, yes, of course you may. So I called them. Then he led me to a place. And when I was there, I looked at it and I said, what has he brought me to, you know? And then I told my cameraman, be ready. So there was a curtain which was tattered and torn. So he just said, I'm going to show you something, but you see it first and then you decide. So I said, fine. And he swiftly, slowly opened the curtain. And I was zapped. I said, what is this? He said, yes, you have seen it. It's the spiritual wonders and it is the treasure of the Aham period. There were beautiful things made out of gold. I mean, it was absolutely treasures which perhaps should have been in a museum, but they are protected treasures by a spiritual snake. I later on learned of the history and what happened in a place like Marjoli. And I said, look, I'm not going to picturize this. What is outside, what is meant for the world, I will show. Because I know, exactly as you said, the eyes of the world is what we have to trust or not trust. And if I had allowed everybody to see what I saw, believe me, I think a lot of greedy people will just go there and they will not even help the people of Marjoli. I kept it to myself, I wrote about it, I wrote the book. In fact, I started having a sequence of dreams. And just as I said, I'm not joking when I said there's a spiritual snake. Those who know the world of Krishna, those who know the world of the snake, you will understand and relate. But those who don't know may feel you've gone into a paranormal world. But as the spiritual snake guides you, it shows you many things of this world. And I was shown and I wrote the book. And then one day, I got a call from the Supreme Court of India. Justice Pukan said, I want to write something on Shankadev and give a speech in Bharat.